This week, I really want to talk to you about creativity and grief. If you do follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you probably can tell I'm going through something right now, and I am grieving the loss of somebody in my life, and it came as a huge surprise to me. It wasn't something that I was expecting to happen, and all of a sudden that person is gone from my life, and it's been really hard for me, like harder than I thought it was going to be. Like I think I'm a pretty strong person, but like right now I feel super weak and I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of meditating. I've been watching, oh my God, so many YouTube videos because there is so much information on YouTube about grieving and stuff like that. And I've been talking to my therapist, and I'm starting to realize that it's okay to feel weak at certain points in your life. It's okay not to always be the strong one. It's okay to sometimes put your guard down and say, I just need a minute to myself. I just need time to myself to process what happened. And so that's what I'm kind of doing right now. And I'm learning a lot about grieving, and I'm learning a lot about like just who it makes you as a person. I mean, as a creative myself, I feel like right now, as I'm grieving, I'm just stuck creatively. I like can't seem to do anything. All my mind does is ruminate over good times and sad times, and then I just start crying. And that's the worst part about grief, is that it hits you in waves. And sometimes I think I'm doing really great, and then sometimes, like right now, it's like, oh my God, I'm going to start crying. And it's like I can't control when the grief hits me, and that's the hardest part. But I know that once I process this and I get over it, I'm going to come out better. I'm going to come out stronger. I'm going to come out thriving. And that's what I've really set up for myself over the next couple weeks, is like, how do I continue to make art, and how do I continue to stay creative and not fall into this rut? And I've realized that being a creative and having an outlet is such a great self-support like pillar. It's such a great anchor that we already have in our bodies, in our systems, in our way of life, and it's just taking that to the next level and really throwing yourself into it, and throwing yourself into your art form, and throwing yourself into your writing. And so what I've been doing is really making sure that I'm journaling every day. I'm not a journaler, but I've really started to journal. I journal, how am I feeling? I'm journaling what I'm grateful for. I'm journaling about things that I've been reading and things that I've been writing or hearing about or talking to my therapist about, just as reminders, because I know with my brain, I hear something and I'm like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. That's what's happening to me. And then a couple hours later, I forget about that. And so for me, it's been a process to just journal about my life and journal about what's happening to my body. And I realized that it's actually a good thing to be writing this stuff down. It's so hard to write this stuff down because all I want to do is cry when I'm writing it. But I realized that at a certain point in my life, I'm going to want to write a screenplay or a book, or even have to act in a certain part where I'm going to have to bring up these feelings again. And this way, I already have them documented. I already know what it feels like. I already know what my heart feels like. I already know what my body feels like. And if you guys are like anything like me, like I'll tell you, like this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling shut off from the world. I'm feeling depressed. I've lost my appetite. I've just I'm lazy. I feel like all I want to do is watch TV, curl into bed, eat. It's funny, I've lost my appetite, but I still crave like salt and sweets. I feel like my brain's not working. Like I feel like I'm always two steps behind in everything that I need to be doing because I'm spending so much time focusing on what's gone instead of focusing on what's in the present or in the future. And that's what I've really had to try to teach myself, is stop thinking about the past and start thinking about the future. And that's where being a creative has really been helping me, because I can get lost in that creative process. I can start writing, and if I'm not focusing on writing about the grief and focusing on writing about what I want in my life, then I find that I get lost in that creative space. And so I'm here to tell you that if you are grieving someone, if you are grieving a loss, or a relationship or a family member, find something that you're excited about. Find something that brings you a little joy. Find something that you can do on a daily basis. And that could be easily as like taking pictures every day with your smartphone, like something that makes you take a picture every day of something that makes you happy, or read a book, right? And I realized that I hadn't been reading a lot. Like I really stopped reading it. I had replaced reading with television. And so I've had to slowly get back into reading. And so I set myself a goal that every day I will read 10 pages, and then hopefully I can increase that number. But find something that you enjoy reading. Find something, even if you want to watch TV or you want to watch a movie, what I've started to do is, fine, I'll watch TV and I'll watch a movie, but I have to take notes. I have to write out, okay, what is scene one? What is scene two? What is scene three? What is the arc? What is the what is the conflict? At least that way I'm working my creative muscle. And at the same time, I'm not feeling like I'm being a total lazy bum and not focusing on my creative endeavors. I've also put together a plan on like how I'm going to do stuff. But I think the most important thing to me right now is just finding time to be a creative, finding, even though I don't feel like I'm being super creative, finding that time to set aside and do something, finding that time every day, and find something that you enjoy doing and that you know you can do on a daily basis. So again, like I said, is it taking a picture every day? Is it cooking? I mean, that's a creative thing as well. Is it making, I mean, I don't want to say you should go do this, but is it making like fancy alcoholic drinks? I mean, don't get drunk, but like, is it like playing with different ingredients and different fruits and stuff like that? And for me, I know I need to find something that I can stay in my pajamas and do, or I can do from bed. And so I've really been focusing, like I said, on writing and reading, and I want to start writing a new screenplay, something that kind of brings this emotion into light and somehow lets me work through it in a way. But grieving is a natural process, and for people who tell you like stop crying or stop dwelling on it or stop living in the past, like it's your life and it hurts. And I'm going to say to you, like, do what you need to do to process it and do what you need to do to get through it. Nobody else knows what you're going through. Nobody else knows how it impacted your life. And so take your time and go through the stages, go through the sadness, go through the anger, go through the questioning of God, go through wondering why this happened. And you won't get all the answers. I mean, I surely don't have all the answers, but I know that when I come out on the other side, it's going to all make sense to me. And maybe not in the short term, but in the long term. But I also realize like I can't let myself fall apart. I can't let myself just give up on life because of this. And so that's why as a creative, it's such a great thing that we have this support tool. We have this creative outlet. We have this outlet in general to just pour out our emotions into, whatever that is. And so I highly encourage you to do that. And if you have any ideas or suggestions or thoughts, or if you've gone through the grieving period, let me know. Keep me posted. Tell me what you're doing to help you get through the grieving process, or what you did to get through the grieving process, and maybe it can help somebody else. So feel free to send me that at hi@funnybrown girl.com.